What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. That's the one, the only, Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, we're just kind of recoiling from the news we got. We did get a Nintendo Direct. There was some things, were some missing items on that Nintendo Direct, we'll say.
Definitely always something to talk about. But first, before we even get started on today's show, help us out. Go support our Final Fantasy 16 review. That's right. I played it, reviewed it. I loved it. So go check out my review and I'll tell you all about it. So yeah, head over to youtube.com/InsideTheGameOfficial or InsideTheGame.ca. You can check out our review there. You can also join us when we're live each and every day and over on Twitch.tv/TheOfficialITG. But if you're not able to join us live, make sure you swing by Fired Up Network for all the podcast services where you can hear us each and every day in your eardrums. And of course, those beautiful TV networks like Roku, Amazon Prime, ESTV, Amazon. I said Amazon already. There's just so many. I can't keep them all together. But yeah, we're all there too as well, so you can see us for your viewing pleasures, as Mike always likes to point out. At least he did yesterday. ESTV as well. So yeah, it was funny. Cool. Dude,
that's right. It was nice to get a comment from ESTV specifically. I haven't seen anybody from there for a while.
Yeah, and if you want to talk to us even more, you can always check us out over on Twitter at the official ITG, or join our Discord, as we just got hit up just the other day. Yo, I saw you on TV, so that was cool. Nice to see that kind of stuff, right? Dude, here's today's show. We're recapping the Nintendo Direct. For starters, that's where we're gonna start. I got a lot to say and not all good things to say. Ubisoft is hinting at the next Switch, and Assassin's Creed Mirage's map might just seem to be the right size, Scott. I cannot wait for that game, dude. Ooh, I'm so pumped. I'm a lot more pumped for Assassin's Creed Mirage than I am the Nintendo Direct. So I'm going to pass it over to you just because I'm clearly no longer the audience for Nintendo, right? I have my Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm loving my Tears of the Kingdom. But everything else after that, even the new Mario game, I'm like, I'm out.
I think that's a fair position to take, and the idea of being outside of their target demographic makes a lot of sense. For full disclosure, I'm 30 years old. I'm right in their target demographic, so it speaks to me a little bit better. But given that, there are still some things that we're missing, so I'm gonna run through the list here, but try not to get too bogged down on the details. We have, starting off the show, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero DLC has been announced. This is including the Teal Mask, available in fall, and the Indigo Disc, available in winter. They're both big in-map locations and sure packed with Pokemon as well. We have Sonic Superstars. This is one that stands out to me. I've loved Sonic as a kid. This has 4-player co-op locally and a whole lot of new powers associated with the different characters. So there's Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. Everybody knows them. They have also added Amy Rose to the game. And that game is available in fall of this year. Palia, or Palia, not quite certain. It is a free-to-play game coming in holiday of 2023. That looks cute. I like it.
That looked interesting for me. I was like, okay, here's a farming sim, kind of like that somewhat Animal Crossing, but a little bit more like Fortnite, I guess, crossover, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And then
just not serious tone to it. Yeah,
exactly. And then it's free to play, which was a bit of a shock to see. I didn't expect to see a free to play title heading to the Switch. So that's like, man, there's a couple little things in here, but most of it was not for me.
Well, quickly in a flash, they went through Persona 5 Tactica. We have seen more on that, of course, but this is coming to the Switch. They don't want you to forget. And that is on November 17th. Pre-orders are now live. There was Myth Force by Aspire. That is an online co-op game coming in 2023. Splatoon 3 has announced the latest Splatfest. This is a silly one. It is lasting from the 14th to the 16th of next month, and that is vanilla, strawberry, or mint chip. Which is the best ice cream? It will be determined. I'm on Team Mint Chip personally.
Okay.
No comment.
I like mint chip too. I do like my mint chip as well. But yeah,
I find you either hate it or you love it.
No, I do, dude. I like my You know, the peppermint patties too. Dude, I like those things a lot as well,
Oh.
right? If you're in, you're in. If you're not, you're not. It's just the way it goes.
You know what? Splatoon 3, maybe you're onto something.
Oh,
We
man.
have Detective Pikachu Returns coming on October 6th. The Pikachu thing is interesting. I like that sidestep for Pokemon, but it hasn't quite spoken to me. Not nearly as much as Super Mario RPG, the Super Nintendo game remastered for the Switch, coming out on November 17th. That looks really interesting to me. And also, we have a new hint towards more details will be known later, but Princess Peach is getting her own game as well. And I don't think that's been done before.
No, it's a
We
first. That was
have
interesting.
Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is getting a remaster. That was originally on the 3DS. I had passed over that one, but I need to come back to Luigi's Mansion. The Batman Arkham Trilogy was announced for the Switch. All 3 games, including all the DLC, and that's slated to come on fall of this year.
Hard stop. Hard stop, Scott. Okay, first of all, Batman Arkham's trilogy is fantastic. Here's the problem. It looks horrible on the Switch. Like, they showed this trailer, and I was like, ooh, that is bad. Bane comes out, he looks horrible. Horrible. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is an 8-year-old game. This doesn't work on the Switch? It's 8 years old. Man,
Yeah.
I think it'll work. It just looks really, really bad. Like, I couldn't get over Bane's. Oh, man. I don't know. At this, for me, at the end of the day, getting into this direct and going, this has got to be the end of the Switch's life cycle, right? Like, they're coming at the final phase of where this platform is going to go, because at this point, it's desperate to get into whatever the next Switch is. And we'll talk about it here shortly, Scott.
It is stretching the hardware life cycle.
Oh,
for
man.
certain.
Yeah.
We have a video game based on a board game, an adaptation called Gloomhaven, and that is out on September 18th. Pre-order is now live. Just Dance 2024 was shown, and something that puzzled me, Just Dance Plus, a subscription service. I don't know much about this, and I wanted to do some more digging because subscription service based on a single game kind of irks me.
It gives you more songs to dance to. That's what it is. So every month you get more and more songs. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's a money grab. I'm calling you out, Ubisoft. It's just a giant money grab.
That's something. Well, Beat Saber could enjoy that though. That would be okay.
Yeah.
Silent Hope, an action RPG, is announced for October 3rd. Fae Farm on September 8th.
You're
That's my
interested in
sister's
this
birthday.
one, right?
Yeah, Fae Farm looks kind of fun. It looks like that kind of Stardew Valley farming sim plus a little bit of actioning, a little bit of questing going on. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharge is coming October 19th. I cannot wait. Manic Mechanics solo and 4-player co-op. That is July 13th. Mario plus Rabbids, the last Spark Hunter DLC, is available now. Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince, December 1st of this year. Pikmin 4. They've gone and just given a little more Pikmin information. Underground environments, castaways. It looks like you're finding maybe Olimar, maybe some other space explorers. There's nighttime expeditions, which introduce new Pikmin that glow. So more of what you've come to expect from Pikmin, but brought to the future, as well as Pikmin 1 and 2 are available now on the Switch. I think they have a graphic remaster. Metal Gear Solid Master Compilation Part 1. Here's where we're showing the stretch of the hardware. It's packaged with graphic novel, books, soundtrack, some strat guides, things like that. Yeah. Extras on top. It is noted you can buy Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, or 3 separately. They don't have to all be together in the pack.
Which was cool to see that, actually. That was kind of neat to see. I'm happy. If you have not played Metal Gear Solid, congrats. Here's your opportunity to get into the franchise. Man, they just seemed to like jam everything into this, though, didn't they? Audio files, like how-tos, like guidebooks. I was like, what is going on here?
It's not my preferred console for the compilation, but it's out there for somebody. And the idea is get it in front of everybody's hands. I have Splinter Cell and Metal Gear Solid 3 on the 3DS, of all things. So it certainly has been done before.
No, for
Also
sure.
has been done before is Vampire Survivors. However, this is coming to the Switch now, August 17th. Headbanger Rhythm Royale is a party game / mini game compilation, and that's October 31st of this year. Penny's Big Breakaway, that's a platforming game, and it is by the team that brought you Sonic Mania. That is early of next year, and I'm actually really excited about that one. That looks cool.
Uh-huh.
I like the look to it, and a platformer seems like a good time for me. Mario Kart Deluxe DLC Wave 5 introduces new characters, PD Piranha, Wiggler, and Kamek, and that is coming in this summer. Star Ocean, the second story, R, is coming November 2nd. WarioWare Move It, 2-player local co-op, 4-player online competitive, I believe that's local competitive. 200 plus micro games, and that's November 3rd. I'm a big fan of WarioWare here.
Oh, dude, that looks horrible. Who plays these things? I can't believe this kind of game is being produced and people are actually paying for it. This is where Nintendo throws me like right over the fence out in left field. I'm like, I can't believe people are buying this thing. It's my rant.
It is a thing of there's some great content here for rants, but
Horrible.
It is I think it was kind of developed as a catch-all for shovelware. Get shovelware off of the DS, the 3DS. This is the way to do it properly, and I would like to state it's better than shovelware. There was Nintendo Live PAX West, a bit of an advertisement. There's going to be tournaments, celebrations, and that runs from September 1st to the 4th. Interesting if we see some Smash tournaments, some sanctioned Smash tournaments. However,
Good luck.
there is Super Mario Brothers Wonder has up to 4-player co-op and a whole lot of different power-ups. Again, we see Mario as an elephant, and that reminds me of Wario Land. Excellent connection there. I'm excited, and that is supposed to come on October 20th of this year.
It's nice to see a new Mario game. Are you surprised it's not 3D?
I kind of thought it was at first because it had that three-dimensional aesthetic to it, but it is a 2D game, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
And I am kind of surprised, though. There's a split in the Mario kind of franchise. I think I like 3D a little bit better.
That's fair.
But that's just from fond memories of Super Mario Sunshine.
The game looks charming. I think it looks kind of cool. So it is, I don't know, it's interesting. I think a lot of people are going to have a great time playing the new Wonder when it comes to Super Mario Brothers. The overall thoughts on the conference or the direct there, I can't even call it a conference, but it was about 40 minutes, Scott. So it was pretty lengthy overall. But what are your final thoughts?
Well, there's a few things that are missing that I really wanted to see, especially when it comes in terms of the life cycle of the Switch. I wasn't expecting a new hardware reveal. That would just be a little far-fetched. But no Metroid Prime 4. No mention of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remaster, if that is indeed the plan. I would have liked to see a little bit more on that. We're not going to get any sort of DLC, I believe, for Tears of the Kingdom, but that would have been the opportunity to bring that forward.
Yeah.
That would be very strange of Nintendo, though. From memory, I don't think they've ever had any sort of expansions for the mainline games.
Well, so obviously we did get the motorcycle there with Breath of the Wild, right? And a lot of people were questioning and wondering, are we going to get DLC when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom? But
that was a collectible thing, though.
Well,
to get that, I don't believe you could buy it. I think you had to get every single shrine completed.
There's a couple things that came in the way of DLC for the game, but they were pretty. I can't really speak out of turn too much here because I didn't play the game enough, and then I never got into the DLC. I'm more heavily involved in Tears of the Kingdom, and because it is like 4 times the size of Breath of the Wild, it feels like, I don't know if they need DLC. My biggest question is, where is Donkey Kong? Dude, where is another Donkey Kong Country game at this point? Or is this something we're going to get on the next Switch? And we should kind of get into the next topic because we're going to lead us into a whole other, down the rabbit hole. As Ubisoft says, this should have held on to Mario plus Rabbids sequel for Nintendo's next console. Tom Ivan over at VGC.
Did you say down the rabbit hole?
I did.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
Ubisoft CEO. Dude, sometimes I nail it. Other times I fall flat on my face. But either way, Ubisoft Yves Guillemot shout out to my French heritage right there, buddy. That's as far as I go. Has said the publisher failed to heed Nintendo's advice by releasing Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope too soon. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, Guillemot suggested Nintendo advised the company that it would be beneficial to release the sequel on Switch's successor. 2017 Switch exclusive Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Scott, did you ever play that?
No, I think we played some at the demo, some demos at an event,
Yes.
but that's all I can recall.
Yeah. Has reached over 7.5 million players, according to Ubisoft Milan creative director David Saliani. But despite strong reviews and a 5-star wait for its sequel, Sparks of Hope disappointed the commercially following its release last October. Interesting. Quote, despite excellent ratings and players' reception, as well as an ambitious marketing plan, we were surprised by Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope underperformance in the final weeks of 2022 and early January, end quote, said Ubisoft. Scott, right there, though, right at the top, Yves Guillemot said that Nintendo suggested to wait. If he had waited and then launched on the sequel, would it have been, because this is kind of what happens, right? You get the new hardware, you want to play something, let's get it out there then. Now, when Sparks of Hope released, dude, that was 2022. When are we going to get, so if it's ready then, why would you wait 2-3 years and just shelve the game until whenever Nintendo wants to release their next hardware?
Yeah, it seems to indicate that it's not terribly far away. Because if that was a whole year, would it have made sense for Nintendo to say, wait 2 years? Or is that too far away? And would that indicate we're getting new Switch hardware probably within a year?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Guillemot said that the market is suffering a little bit with the inflation situation. He told GamesIndustry.biz the company should have been more patient with Sparks of Hope. Quote, I think it was a different issue with Mario, end quote, he said. Quote, we had already pleased a Mario Rabbids game on... we already released a Mario Rabbids game on Switch, so by doing another, we had 2 similar experiences on one machine. On Nintendo, games like this never die. There are 25 Mario games on Switch. End quote. So there's that to take into consideration as well, Scott. Apparently, people love their Mario games. So, man, I had no idea there's 25 games on the Switch. It was funny because we just take a look now at the newest one, right? Mario Wonder, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and that one looks cool. It looks interesting. But when we came off of Odyssey, like I look at Odyssey being the bigger staple, they did bring over, what's the creative one you can do?
Oh, the Mario Maker?
Yes, thank you. So there's Mario Maker. Like, dude, 25 games though? I did not expect 25 games. I was expecting a couple, but not that many.
It's interesting though. You don't normally do 2 of the same IP on one hardware. However, there's 25 Mario games, and like you mentioned, Odyssey though, that explains why this is a 2-dimensional Mario.
Yes.
Having a second 3-dimensional is just not something they do, apparently.
Apparently not. Quote, Nintendo has advised that it's better to do one iteration on each machine. We were a bit too early. We should have waited for the next console, end quote. He added, because you can play a great game, and we think it will last the 10 years. Woohoo, man, that's a long life cycle. Because we will update it for the new machine that will come in the future. Biggest question, Scott, is when is that future? Because as we've seen in this direct, the future, it needs to come sooner than later, because some of these games that are coming look real rough. Like in a situation, they could have been a lot better getting into that next hardware. And the next hardware, Scott, at this point then, with Ease talking about it and such, are we thinking next year that we get the new Switch 2, Super Switch, whatever we're going to call it, as a sequel for 2024? You think so?
I think it must be. Yeah, it's not going to happen this year. We would have seen the marketing swell behind it. But I think next year, perhaps this holiday season, we'll see hints towards an announcement. But I think by the end of 2024, I have to hope, if nothing else, hope that Nintendo has a successor.
Yes, absolutely. But what we are getting this holiday season is Assassin's Creed Mirage as its map is around Revelation's Constantinople in size, no bigger than Unity's Paris. This is Owen over at VG247. Don't expect Assassin's Creed Mirage to have a massive sprawling map, as it'll be closer in size to games like Revelation's Constantinople. Dude, this is fantastic news. I am so excited. We're going to have a much tighter experience for Assassin's Creed, and we're going to get the heck away from where we were with Valhalla, because that was so big. Man.
Yeah, not instead of the entire Mediterranean or the Atlantic Canada.
Yep.
A small city is perfect for me.
The more and more that comes out of Assassin's Creed Mirage, the more it starts to become clear how much this game really is going back to its series roots. Oh, thank you. One of the things that has changed a lot about the games over the years is how big the maps are. Oof, that's an understatement. If you played them, you know how much bigger more recent games like Valhalla and Odyssey are compared to older titles. But according to Easy Allies, you can expect Mirage's map to be much closer in size to Revelation's Constantinople and Unity's Paris. Quote, they compared it specifically to Constantinople in Assassin's Creed Revelations and Paris in Assassin's Creed Unity. End quote. Shared Easy Allies Michael Huber, who spoke with Ubisoft about the game. Quote, they said it's about that big. Both maps are a bit different in size themselves, as the video covers compared to map sizes. But overall, Scott, much tighter scope when we're getting into Mirage. A much beloved return, I think, is what we're going to see. Getting into that stealth. Dude, the throwing knives are back, right? Some of the smoke. The rooftop, kind of the pillars that you can hide in are back as well. They're making a return. There's so much. I've watched the trailer a couple times now at this point. But I don't want to do it too much, right? And then kind of spoil myself. I don't like spoilers. But either way, the more I see about Mirage, the more excited I become. And I cannot wait for October 12th.
Oh, I agree with you there. And I think this is another piece of news that I wanted to hear. Just remind us all, small maps work just fine. And I'm sure it'll be incredibly busy, maybe vertical. There's a lot of ideas you could do. That's not just open countryside.
No, absolutely. I want to be a busy market, right? Like they're talking about bringing in where you can hide amongst the crowd again. I'm like, oh man, like you're speaking to me in so many ways.
Remember Revelations, all the different. You're hiding inside of the different medical camps, and it's so good.
Absolutely. The bench kills scene 2, right? Where you're sitting on the bench and you nail the guy, you stab the guy, and you sit him down on the bench and walk away. I'm like, yep. Hello, I'm so back, man. But Assassin's Creed will be out on October 12th for pretty well everything. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and PC. Luna, I would expect in there as well. So just take that with a grain of salt. But either way.
Notable exception, no Nintendo.
Well, it's because you couldn't run that game, dude. It's going to look beautiful on next hardware or current gen, whatever you want to call it.
It's going to need a Switch 3 to run that.
So excited, man. I can't contain myself, Scott. I love Assassin's Creed. It's got to be my next tattoo. Got to be. But either way, Scott, we do have a couple games out today. What do we have?
We have VR Skater on the PlayStation 5's PlayStation VR 2. I have many questions about that game. We also have Bandit Brawler on PC and Trepang 2 on PC.
Trepang 2. Did you see this one? This one looks kind of interesting. I'm like, curious to see how that one plays out. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the game is.
It looks like a first-person shooter. And then you get into Skater? Okay. Skater VR. Like you said, questions, right? So many questions. We'll see if that code kind of drops in my inbox today.
Memories of the Tony Hawk Wii game come flash to mind, and that did not work out well. So I hope this works quite better than that.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, Brad, what's going on, buddy? Just happened to see that you typed in there a little late than usual. But either way, thanks again for joining us. Scott, what are you playing right now? You got about 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm trying to come up with the idea. Do I want to get into Cyberpunk before the big DLC and reroll? And
yes, you do.
I can't quite decide.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you didn't know, I've been playing Final Fantasy 16. So again, make sure you go check out my review. I'll tell you my thoughts all about it, and I did give it a pretty good score. So it's wow. Am I blown away? I'm not even a Final Fantasy guy, right? That's the thing. Like that's the part that's most exciting. If you're looking for a new Final Fantasy, here's your opportunity to get into it if you've never played before. This is your kind of your baby steps in. I think this is, man, oh man. Yeah, lots to talk about. I can't wait for people to play it. So much to say. But either way, we'll be back tomorrow, everybody. Thank you again for hanging out with us. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.